How do you begin to explain the Northwest Territories? Where do you start what seems to be endless? In short, it felt like the Canada the way I always knew it, but more. This is our adventure to Yellowknife. Bad decisions equal good stories. Welcome to Mainville UTV and Outdoors. Today we are north of the 60th parallel, which technically means we're in the beginning of the Arctic Circle here in Canada.
Yep. It's cold and getting colder. We have very little daylight here. Starts at 10, ends at 3:30. So it makes it a little bit difficult to A, get footage, but B, just do anything in general.
We have a really wild trip, and we're going to explain how we got here in this video, so stay tuned. Well, it is a minus 40 day. Our truck will not start. Trying to do our trip to Yellowknife, and it's already off to a bad start. I dropped a cell on the battery. What am I showing, 9 volts?
Yeah, no, I'm 3.
It is not warm. We're just now getting on the road. It's 7:15 p.m. We wanted to leave at like 3:30. Our heat can barely
Keep up.
The window here. Can't see a dang thing. It says it's minus 40 right now, and it will be all night. It could get as cold as minus 50
Celsius. Not that it's different.
Not that it's different, yeah. Does the world not want us to go to Yellowknife?
I'm seeing that, yeah.
We are getting the worst fuel mileage possible. We're getting less than 300 kilometers to a tank right now. When we get up north, there's very few gas stations. It just so happens that we are headed to Edmonton, where my diesel truck is getting custom work done to it. They're gonna throw my truck back together, and we're gonna swap to go up north to Yellowknife. It's saying that we have 160 kilometers left, but I'll bet you money we only have like 40. And check that out. 27 liters to 100 kilometers. This thing's only got an 80-liter tank. Oh no, dude. It's so cold that the screens are freezing. Oh my God, we got fuel though.
We're on our way to Canadian Tire to get a hitch receiver sleeve insert thing because it's the wrong size hitch receiver. Then we just have to transfer everything over and we'll be back on the road.
We're gonna have to leave the Tacoma here, and we're gonna take my truck. Now we're riding in style. Minus 48 outside. I got the truck started, got it slightly warmed up, moved forward about that much, it shut down. And I don't know if the fuel's gelled up or what, but I've gotten it started a few times. Plugged in, charged up, you name it, but she won't stay running. So, but yeah, minus 48, not very kind to us here in high-level Alberta. A few roller coaster days later, we met up with our friends in Yellowknife. Many moons and a few pounds ago, I met Phil while serving in the military. Interestingly enough, Cass also knew Phil and Jess from the Royal Military College. Phil, during our trip, acted as our local guide in many ways. I asked Phil, when do you consider yourself a local? Or when do locals consider you a local? And he said, when you've gone through at least one winter, some will call you sourdough. So I asked him, this is your second winter here. What does that make you? He said, not local enough to know. We spent the Christmas holidays here, something among our friend group we would call Friendsmas. It's not always easy or viable to see family with how large Canada is and where the military would like to post us. So some years we get together as a military family instead.
We don't typically go to too many tourist attractions, but Yellowknife sites are truly interesting and I highly recommend them. The Bristol Freighter, the first wheeled aircraft to land at the North Pole. Looking over the deepest lake in North America, Great Slave Lake, you have the Bush Pilots Monument, dedicated to the brave pilots and engineers who lost their lives flying the wild skies of Northwest Territories. The Wildcat Cafe, the oldest restaurant in the city, first opened in 1937. And finally, the Ingram Trail, known as the road to resources like local mines, but also a variety of lakes and territorial parks we will be visiting in a future video in this series. There's so much more to this area, its people, and its local culture than I could ever fit into a video. Consider putting it on your travel list. It's worth every degree after -30. So what's the plan, Phil? What are we thinking?
Well, I think the plan is...
That's not how that works. What do you got there? Is that for supper?
Yep. You want a snow cone? Hi, Diesel. Where are we?
You thought it was a moose or Sasquatch
No,
out
I knew
there?
it was you. I seen you coming. I was
Oh,
waiting.
he won't come
There
out.
was no.
Yeah, but you don't do that. You open her
off
up and you cut off, and then you gotta slide in with your finger.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
you
what I'm
can-
saying. That goes in, but when he hits the cat,
Yeah, she jumped up here a couple minutes later.
worse than fish.
I know, but still.
She jumped up here and went to go look me in the face, but oh, you smell like fish.